Yo, what is up everyone, Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at this month's legendary hero, and it is none other than the leader of the Ashen Wolves, Yuri. So, I didn't play the Ashen Wolves DLC from Three Houses myself, so I don't really know him that well, but it's cool to see him. I think he's pretty cool. He definitely was one of the candidates. It's not, some people are saying this is a random. If you say it's random, then you don't know Fire Emblem. He's definitely a candidate for a legendary hero, and even if he's not a main lord, even though it does say Underground Lord, it's still kind of debated from what I've seen if he's an actual main lord, but he's obviously still eligible to become a legendary, and he's definitely a protagonist of his story from the Ashen Wolves. So no hate to Yuri from there, because we've had characters that aren't really main lords like Sheeta or Lilina, for example, so this should not be random. I don't get why people say that stuff, but yeah, legendary Yuri is here, and he's pretty cool. He's got a really cool design, and as the leader here, he brings a red dagger this time as a red dagger infantry, and he's a wind pair up legendary hero, so he's pretty strong in his own right. Still daggering just like his base version, and they're going to show basically his niche here against this team with Summer Thor. So basically he can kind of neutralize stall effects, so stall would only make him like move less spaces, but now with his C skill, he can kind of neutralize the stall effect, and we'll get to that. But yeah, he comes with Abyssal Blade. This gives him -1 special cooldown, and if he initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, he grants +5 to all stats, has the partial no follow-up, and has 20% true damage of his speed, and also reduces damage from the foes for his attack by 30%. So this weapon is pretty solid, but it's nothing like crazy right off the bat. It's not like a long description, even though long descriptions don't mean a weapon's like crazy powerful or anything. That just, but still, Abyssal Blade I think could have used more effects, but it's still pretty good. And he comes with Foul Play, which is an amazing assist, one of the best assists in the game, as we've seen from regular Yuri. And he comes with the new A skill, Attack Speed Hex Blade, and I like to see this because I was wondering how they would do Hex Blade skills, because they're kind of underrated, and the seal is also underrated, and this one pretty much solves that because it's a premium version of it. So Attack Speed Hex Blade, at the start of turn, if you're within 2 spaces of a magic ally, you grant Hex Blade to yourself for 1 turn, and if a bonus is active on Yuri or anybody using this, he grants +7 attack and speed to unit during combat. So it's a very simple condition. You just have to have a magic ally, which if you're not running a magic team, then obviously this skill is not going to work, or you're not running a tome user. But still, if you're running a tome user, which is very common, then this Hexblade skill is going to be really nice, because for Yuri's case here, he's a nuke, so he's trying to kill people as fast as possible and hit as hard as possible. So this adaptive damage that Hexblade gives is going to be very strong against like save tanks that might have more defense than resistance, or vice versa. He can hit harder whenever's lower on that foe. So Attack Speed Hexblade is pretty cool, definitely a cool option. He comes with Seal Speed 4, which is nothing new, and he comes with Fetters of Dromi. This gives him Canto 2, and at the start of turn he can move 1 extra space, which these 2 effects were in his previous weapon on his base version with Honorable Blade, so now it's moved to the C skill basically. But the difference with this is the C skill here gives him at the start of turn, if the start of turn skills trigger, if stall is active on Yuri, he neutralizes the unit can move 1 extra space effect of this skill, and then he also has an Omni Rain skill along with this. So basically, as you saw in the trailer here, in this gameplay against Thor, normally if he didn't have this C skill, then I don't think he'd be able to reach Thor because the stall would stop him. But because of that, he can kind of negate it in a way a little bit. So Yuri kind of has an answer to stall, which is nice for him because he's always trying to move around, and with his foul play stuff as well, this is going to help him against stuff like Dual Thor, because even though a stall effect isn't that common, Dual Thor is extremely common. So I definitely know what it's like, because I use sometimes like even Tempest Brave Marth, you see in my videos, stall effects can be annoying, so that's nice for Yuri. But the downside to that C skill is, even though it's pretty nice, he can't really run like Times Pulse 4 or something like that in the C skill, because for Yuri in his game plan with his amazing stat spread of 47, we didn't even go over it, his amazing stat spread of 47 base attack and 47 speed, which probably has a super boon in either of those or both of them. He can't really run Times Pulse to like pre-charge lethality, if you give it to him, or any other specials. So that's kind of a downside. It's a bit of a trade-off compared to regular Yuri, which would run Times Pulse pretty much all the time. So that's a bit of a downside, but I guess you could get rid of the Dromi skill, his C skill, his PRF C skill, for Times Pulse 4 or something, if you really want to charge lethality. But if you want to keep the C skill, then I would definitely recommend getting speed defense tempo, which was also common on regular Yuri. So his game plan is not much different, because he's just basically Yuri in 2023 as a red dagger in a sense. But he's a win legendary hero, so he definitely faces competition against legendary Veronica, who I think is the best, one of the best mages in the game, the best red mage cavalier in the game, and also is ranged like Yuri. So, and it's a bit of competition for him. But you know, if you love Yuri and you like him, he definitely can bring value onto your team, especially against dual Thor. So let's go into the rest of the units on the banner. We have Legendary Sigurd, Note, we got Oter's ass, this guy, we got Medius, who I'm trying to plus 10, we got Asker, we got Ninian, Legendary Ninian, we have Ascended Air, we have my boy Harden, we got Embla, we got Kaldori, and we got my man Goto. So this legendary banner is pretty solid. You know, nobody here is like a real big dud, I guess, besides Kaldori, but I don't remember what fodder she has exactly, but you know, she's pretty solid. But yeah, just looking at the colors, red has great value with Yuri, having the Hexblade skill as well if you want to try that out for your offensive units. And then Legendary Sigurd, even though he's not as strong as he used to be, he definitely gained a boost with Embla. You know, Embla's a rival because Embla helps cav lines, you know, having the undefended status. So, you know, Sigurd can have a better time against like near save tanks, for example. So red's pretty good. Then we're looking at colorless. We got Asker, Medius, and Goto. In my opinion, I think colorless is actually the best color here, gonna be honest, because you have Asker, who's one of the best units in the game, one of the best tanks in the game, one of the best support units in the game. You got Medius, who's a premier dark mythic and also a great combat unit in his own right, and then Goto, who's one of the best range tanks in the game, having basically being magical brave Ike, and he has great fodder with guard 4. So colorless, I think, brings the most value. They all have pretty good fodder themselves and great, you know, they're just great units. Red is definitely the second best, I'd say. Green, you have Ascended Air, who's amazing, definitely underrated unit. I don't see her that much, but she's still pretty annoying, having the miracle effect. Any kind of miracle unit that's strong is going to be annoying. So, you know, stuff like Legendary Celica, not Legendary Celica, Ascended Celica, excuse me, and Brave Seliph and Ascended Air. Those are the three like miracle cheesers, I like to call them right now. And then you have Oter, who's not the greatest unit, but I guess you know, he can work in defense, I suppose. He's nothing spectacular, but he can work sometimes, I guess. And he has the Judo Cavalry 4 skill, and the Ninian is one of the best dancers right now. So green is kind of you know, Oter, I guess, is kind of a dud, but you know, his fodder is still not bad. He comes with a menace as well. And then blue, you got Kaldori, Harden, and Note, which might be the weakest. Harden is definitely an underrated Cavalier, but you know, that class is so saturated. I would love to get myself a Harden. I don't remember what Kaldori's fodder is or her weapon, so apologies on that. But Note, you know, she's still a great dark mythic. You know, Pathfinder is always going to be useful in my opinion, because it's still crazy, you know, just to be able to move extra spaces without like being stopped by stall. You can't really stop Pathfinder in a sense. But yeah, so the colors I'd rank them is colorless first is the best, and you got red, green, and then blue. I'd say you would probably switch green and blue. They're probably about the same, honestly, maybe. But yeah, that's just an overview of the banner and how I think of it. I'm going to be summoning on it for sure, because I am trying to plus 10 Medius. As you guys might remember, I did make a summoning video for Medius back in the day before KD and Lind came out, which sucked. But it's all good because I was able to plus 10 her anyway. But I blew a bunch of bunch of orbs on that banner, and I didn't plus 10 him when I only needed like 4 copies, and I spent like 500. So hopefully this time I'll be able to get the plus 10 and add him to my collection, because I have been, you know, trying to plus 10 Medius ever since he came out. So I have the Spark, and then I can get hopefully 1 copy before the Spark and then dip, because I definitely want to keep saving my orbs, especially with summertime coming up and some more banners as well. I would love to get myself Yuri if I can, but I'm not going to be going for him directly unless I have to pull another color. Maybe I'll pull red. But I would also love to get Goto, because I'm trying to plus 10 Goto as well. He's another merge project I would love to merge up eventually. Not going to happen, but I would love to get a merge on him. But getting any of the colorless units is going to be nice, because I have a merged up Asker at like +3. But of course, Medius is the goal. But yeah, that's just my plans for the banner. So expect a summoning video hopefully within the next week or so, whenever I find the time. I'll post it whenever, but yeah, you guys will see it. But yeah, that is the legendary banner for legendary Yuri. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think Yuri's pretty solid, but he's nothing like insane, you know, especially compared to someone like legendary Veronica, who I think is amazing. She's one of the best nukes in the game right now. And Yuri, while he's a strong nuke, I don't think he's as strong as her, but he definitely brings some cool things to the table. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. If you comment, leave a like if you enjoyed. Listen to me ramble. As always, please stay safe out there, and peace out.